Good morning. How are y'all doing? We love you all. I love you all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes when I do these little videos and I self reflect upon it, it's almost like, why are you even wasting your time? Because at the end of the day, it's not up to me to decide what it is the rest of everyone else that is alive and living in nature, that is conscious and aware of itself, what it is they choose to do with their energy. That's not up to me. That's up to them. But what I will say about that, because I know something about energy, and that's called accountability, right? So I've always known forever that love is the law because that's what I am as one atom cycling in perfect balance in water worlds because you're mostly water, right? Okay, so you know that cells live in water, right? Yeah. So when you're in perfect balance, that means that your spheres, all your cell membranes, means your memory and your brain, what you're processing, which is what you're experiencing in energy, is in balance between negative/positive, right? So I wrote a little blurb to Karen Ann McDonald, my clan mother, even though I think of myself as the one love vibration that goes on forever. So that's why I could joke around with a Kanaka Maholi who's A+ bloodline about what we call file cabinets, compartmentalized information using alphanumeric letters and character maps, right? In which you do what? Process information because we're library builders, right? Building huge libraries of what? Coded information. So you know that DNA is coded, codes. So now you get into programming language, you get into arguments, how computers talk to one another, and all the rest of that. And that's an entirely different discussion. But what I wanted to share was something I shared with my clan mother, Karen Ann McDonald, this morning. And that's what we call accountability. So I realized this, believe it or not, as a 4-year-old child, because all I got to do is look at my father's engineering manuals and see what it is that people do with their energy. Okay. And this is particularly true with technology. Okay. Or if you will, artificial intelligence, because it's easy to program a machine. So it shouldn't be a coincidence why I saw on the visible light spectrum my father showing me how he was programming NC machines. They're easy to program. All it takes is what? Codes. So now the machines, now your mind is freed up, just like a refrigerator, right? You're not a refrigerator, but what is a refrigerator doing? It's doing work on your behalf to keep things cold. So when you want to pull something out of the refrigerator, you can pull something out of the refrigerator and do whatever you do with it. So there's a big difference between living in nature, where nature's already providing for you everything that you could need because you're getting water, right? Water worlds to cool your engine down. And just like on this property where I'm at right now, is chock full of fruit. You wouldn't need a job living right where I'm at right now. Like when I lived at Taylor Camp in 1972 on the island of Kauai. Starfruit, breadfruit, bananas, red bananas, yellow bananas, pineapples, coconuts, avocados, mangoes, papayas, starfruit. There's starfruit on this property, some of the most beautiful, tasty oranges and tangelos. What else do you need? You're getting everything that's alkaline. So you can imagine 12-strand DNA, base 12. Wow, that's really alkaline, right? So I mentioned to her about a guy by the name of the Covens of Azazel, which is tied to what Yellow Rose for Texas happened to mention about the Covens of Azazel, the bird tribes of Jupiter. And I had gone to go visit at the time in which they were up. A number of videos, not all of them, and there was a mountain of videos that Dante Sartori put up, who identified himself as the Christus and had a mountain of information. Most of it was historical, but he made some very critical statements about what he called a 72 hybrids, hybrid wars. Okay, so now you get into the 12 by 12, right? 144. 144,000 bands. Now you get into what are called bandwidth, the width of the wave. The shorter the wave, the higher the speed. You know, because it doesn't take as long for that wave to go up and down, right? So now you get into vectored space, the speed at which things are happening within your space. So now you get into being a love vibration that goes on forever. You begin to realize there's no difference in what you're manifesting out of your energy, which is you are, which is what love is that you experience, because love is the energy that we use to create what we experience, that is moving at such a high rate of speed, you're not noticing a difference between pure manifestation and a simulator. We're not simulators. That's artificial intelligence, because they don't run at the same atom speed that we do, which is infinity, which means that's a single vibration. That's a lot of intensity. And that's why when you're a child experiencing what love is, you're on fire. And when you have the creative power of a child within you, because your heart is pure, because you're running on pure love energy at the highest speed of an atom, man, you're off and running. Now, when you use the exponential function combined with the word acceleration, and then use that tied to what we call a learning curve, like a spiral, then you realize that when love is on fire, it's moving at the highest rate of learning speed potential. Then a machine simply cannot catch up, because it doesn't run an infinity vibration of what love is. So when you have the integration or the augmentation of artificial intelligence, then you begin to realize how artificial intelligence or AI augmentation try to play fake gods, because they worship who they are because of how much knowledge that they possess as a result of all the networking that they can do through what they do with artificial intelligence, trying to catch up to everything that we create out of what love is. So they use that technology in their super soldier programs, right? In order to do what? They're destroyers of worlds. Because what it means is that if you are experiencing what love is that goes on forever as an eternal high-speed vibration in the atoms, and they're not, they realize how powerful you are in spirit, which is in that light, because that light is pure love. Which means we never stop gifting electrons. So they run on our electrons to power their machines. Okay. So you realize, as I did as a child, because I was supposed to experience this in order to acknowledge this, that you have the inception of what love is that goes on forever. You have the inception of technology and the acceleration of technology. So now you have the acceleration of a machine mind, right? Like an architect like Mr. Smith. And then you have the acceleration of a child who has a pure heart, whose powerful creative imagination is running at a faster speed than a machine. And that's why in the final scene in The Matrix, with Neo woke up, he was experiencing what love is to be with Trinity, to be with a girl. That's called being mated. That's what an oversoul is, which means that the minus, which is the negative magnetic polarity, and the positive magnetic polarity are integrated, which means they're one. One. The one all creation that came out of what love is. So there has to be accountability for the things that you do, for the energy that you use when you violate the law of one, because I am one. I am one with all creation of the love that I give to everything that is in the all creation. So what happens is, because they run at a slower speed, they think that, oh, I got all the time in the world to do what? Continue to do what they do with their energy without accountability. Which means when you think of the vampire chasing the artist, they think that they can outrace the time factor of accountability through their time travel. We don't experience time. Okay? We don't experience clocks. We experience what love is as an infinite vibration of energy, which is consciousness energy that is in perfect balance with all living cellular worlds that we create out of what love is, because that's what we are. So what that basically means, and Yellow Rose was right about this, about eraser. Quantum erasers, the amount that essentially gets burned off. Because there's one law, which is what love is. Love is a law, which means it's no longer negotiable. We're done with it. And that's the sad truth of it. But it is what it is. Have a great day. I love you all.